Hello and welcome to another episode of Hypnopompic State, a series of short videos developed for the Dreamscope Artist Toolkit. We are Alex
and Leo, foreign artists and fabricators starting a business in the UK. Together, we form like Voltron to become Hypnopomp, a company making guitars and what have you for the discerning consumer. Today, we're going to discuss some of the finer points of one of the items we produce, the electric solid body guitar. Follow us down, dear viewer, as we share some of the glorious knowledge we've gleaned through trial and error.
Today's topic is a controversial one: wood. On the surface, these waters seem cool and inviting, as if the conversation could be about the rewarding qualities of woodworking as a trade, or how nice it feels to oil up and polish something real good. But that placidity belies a terrifying turbulence beneath, a many-armed monster of environmental hazards, questionable ethics, and debates about tone wood.
Firstly, we'll be leaving some resources in the description of the video for ethical sourcing and identification. If you've got questions about the sustainability of a wood you'd like to work with, you're starting from the right position. Many gorgeous materials that are a dream to work with, and absolutely fabulous in appearance after finishing, are in terrible danger of going extinct for this very reason. Sometimes, if you just have to work with these woods, there are ethical options for acquiring them.
An excellent example of such a wood is mahogany. There are a bunch of different species of mahogany, some of which aren't even related or true mahogany. Some are in the CITES appendices or on the IUCN Red List, showing their threat level. Honduran, Cuban, and African mahogany are all on one or both of these lists because we just can't stop making shit out of this wood. It's so bad that even the beautiful and sustainable alternative to it, sapele, has already lost 20% of its population in the last 3 generations as people switch to it in lieu of the original.
Aside from pure aesthetics, there's one particular story among electric guitar enthusiasts that perpetuates the consumption of rare woods: the legend of the tone woods.
See, back in the before time, in the long ago, instrument makers choosing woods for woodwind or acoustic stringed instruments hit upon the fact that certain woods, when cut to a certain thickness, would ring like a bell when held at a specific nodal point and tapped. These tone woods are still used today in instruments that require them to function in this manner.
The acoustic guitar is no exception. Due to its design as a sort of air pump, sound created by the strings resonates through the face, down into the body, off of the backplate, and finally being thrown back out of the aperture and towards the audience. The sound you hear is dictated not only by the direct ringing of the strings, but also by the movement of air in and out through the top of the guitar. A delicate balance of thickness, structural design, bracing, and wood selection means a lot in an acoustic.
However, in solid body electric guitars, we have an extension of this tradition that doesn't really make any sense. In fact, the way people refer to tone woods in this context is completely divorced from the original use of the word. Acoustic and electric guitars, while possessing similar user interfaces, fall under distinct classifications of instruments: chordophones, like violins, harps, and lutes, and electrophones, like synthesizers and theremins.
There is some debate over exactly how the electric guitar should be classified, but the essence remains. When amplified, no acoustic sound waves contribute to the final sound, but rather a disturbance in a magnetic field created by magnetized strings that is then converted into sound waves via pickups, cable, and amp.
This is in contrast to, for example, an acoustic guitar that has been fitted with piezo pickups, which actually pick up the acoustic vibrations of the strings and body, which are then converted into electricity and amplified. If an electric guitar were to be outfitted with this kind of pickup, usually directly under the bridge, the resonant qualities of the wood may actually make a difference. However, with most solid body electrics, no literal sound made by the instrument is what you hear through the amplifier.
A lot of the persistence of the tonewood idea seems to trace back to that great golden god of the 20th century and beyond: advertising. Throughout the years, manufacturers have used language in their marketing familiar to acoustic players that represented quality instruments. This eventually evolved to the point where they were saying things like, "The swamp ash sound is twangy, airy, and sweet. It offers firm lows, pleasant highs, and a slightly scooped mid-range, and good sustain." Or, "Used on its own, mahogany's characteristic tone is warm and somewhat soft, but well balanced with good grind and bite. There is usually good depth to the sound, with full but not especially tight lows, and appealing, if unpronounced, highs."
These words mean about as much in this context as rich Corinthian leather did to the speed of your Chrysler. It may be true that when not plugged in, these guitars have a very different quality sound and even feel to the player. In fact, an unplugged electric guitar is distinctly in the realm of chordophone, just like an acoustic. But even then, a solid body electric doesn't function like an air pump. There is no backboard to bounce off of, and the tone quality of tone wood is diminished exponentially by the thickness of the material, and the fact that the instrument is placed firmly against your body.
The final sound of a solid body electric originates in the capture of the pickups. The capture of these pickups is only affected by the disruption in the magnetic field created by the vibration of the string. If something doesn't affect the vibration of the string, it is not captured by the pickups. All of the official sounding articles that compare the grain density of woods to the reverb qualities of different sized rooms are missing this essential point. Most pickups do not actually care about or notice literal sound.
There are things that distinctly and unquestionably affect the way the string vibrates. Scale length, nut material, intonation, action, chording firmness, strum strength, and most importantly, precision and quality of fabrication. Each of these directly contribute to how your string moves. The woods used directly contribute to the solid construction of the device, so it does matter that you use something sufficiently sturdy. But wood is not magnetic. Any slight vibration of the wood does not directly affect the magnetic field, and that's all before the signal is converted into electricity. Any effect the wood might possibly have can be quickly corrected through the tone knob, pedals, amplifier, or digital sound engineering.
To be fair, airwaves leaving the string, hitting the wood, and then bouncing back and hitting the strings could have a microscopic effect on the sustain of the string. Also, theoretically, if your body was constructed out of an extremely soft material, the vibration of the string could be lost to the body, again, slightly affecting the sustain. However, any material that is hard and strong enough to make a well-constructed guitar should not be noticeably different. You can make a great sounding guitar out of a plank of wood, a fence post, or even cardboard if you're clever, but only if the integrity of your setup and construction is uncompromised.
In summation, your choice of wood does indeed matter. It dictates the look, weight, and finger feel of your instrument, dictates the sturdiness and longevity of the guitar, and if you're hell-bent on shelling out for an unsustainable exotic wood, then nobody but your wallet is stopping you.
The most important element in feeling and playing like a rock star is pride and confidence in your precious axe. If you need a solid rosewood guitar to feel that way, then so be it. The placebo effect is a real thing. All we're saying is that there are so many more important things that directly contribute to the quality of the sound than your use of specific imperiled wood species. Here's a list of woods that are beautiful to the eye and to the touch that are not currently in peril to be considered as alternatives.
Undoubtedly, we're gonna get death threats over this claim, but it's one we sort of have to make as fabricators. For only using these woods for aesthetics and pride, do we really have any business mass producing them? Could it be that in our desire to look really cool, we're actually acting like huge dorks?
Thanks for joining us this week. Check out the videos and resources linked in the description if you're interested in learning more. Until next time, let's all try together to avoid consciously murdering a vulnerable species of plant or animal.